Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you here today. I am back in Sacramento. I am back at work. No more Disneyland videos. I had a ton of fun on my kids' spring break with the 5 days of Disneyland, as well as the 1 day at Universal. But I will tell you, in the world of wrestling news, I honestly think I missed some of the biggest things that have happened this year, let alone probably in the time that I've had this channel and been talking about what's going on in the world of wrestling. But not only was both days of WrestleMania, as well as WrestleMania week and weekend, the WWE Sale to Endeavour. That was like the one big story that I was never able to find a break and actually catch up on and see that was going down. I honestly thought the people were talking about just rumors that were out there. Definitely people were looking at companies like Comcast, the UFC Endeavor company, USA. Well, USA is owned by NBC, which is Comcast. But, you know, we had thrown out rumors of a lot of things going on. But finally, when I saw an interview with Dana White and Vince McMahon sitting down, I think it was on MSNBC, but I'm not 100% sure. I was like, did this really happen? Is this a thing now? And what a time to announce it, being WrestleMania weekend. I know a lot of people were upset by Cody Rhodes not winning the championship and then also getting beat up on the Raw after WrestleMania. People thought that was like just like rubbing it in, that they didn't give him the championship. I didn't see Triple H's quote, but I've seen it enough that we don't know the end of the story, so we can't say that this is like the worst thing to ever happen in the world of wrestling. I think it just means now that Cody has to beat Brock before he can get his rematch against Roman, which is kind of making the story longer rather than him just having a series of matches against Seth Rollins, being gone for a period of months, showing back up at the Rumble, winning that, and then having some matches on Raw and SmackDown on the road to WrestleMania. None that like broke the bank, that were like barn burners. It wasn't like that John Cena versus CM Punk match on the road to WrestleMania 29. It was just Cody wrestling and just being Cody. So now he's actually have to beat some guys to conquer the mountain. Maybe Cody's not the guy. I think he is the guy. I mean, definitely he sold the most merch on Royal Rumble weekend, followed by WrestleMania week. I think he is beloved. I don't think anybody's going to turn their back on the Cody Rhodes storyline. I understand people saying that, this isn't what was supposed to happen. But I don't know. I mean, this deal for WWE is big. I mean, honestly, from what I've seen, and I don't know at all, I was actually thinking of signing up for the Observer, even if it's only for a month, trying to listen to the podcast for the last week of Dave going over the sale and talking about things. But from the stuff that I've picked up, Vince McMahon is once again in charge of WWE. Vince McMahon is the largest stockholder of WWE. They sold enough WWE that Endeavor owns its portion, but Vince still owns a majority. I don't know what that means for the people that own WWE stock. I sold mine at the announcement that they were going to sell. It hit a point, and I said, I don't think it's going to go higher than this. I think it was in the 90s. And it had only been in the hundreds once, a couple of years ago. And so I was like, I'll just cash out now. I've already doubled my money. I remember when I bought that, and Mike, Justin, and Tommy laughed at me back in 2020. But easy. I'm pretty sure I easily doubled my money. I think I bought it in the 40s or maybe even in the 30s. But good times. But I guess Nick Khan, he is going to stay with the company. He got a $15 million bonus for the sale. He got a raise on top of what he's making. So a lot of the stuff sort of painted him as the bad guy in this whole ordeal. I sort of thought that once the sale went through, he would take his money and he would leave. It doesn't seem that that's what's going to happen as of right now. I mean, Nick Khan was sort of the guy that everybody pointed the finger at when guys like Zack Ryder, the Good Brothers, when that whole firing deal went down in 2020, it was kind of pointed at, this is the guy that it's not Vince actually firing these guys, Nick Khan trying to cut the roster down so they're not spending as much money because they weren't going out, they weren't doing live shows, so they weren't selling merch on the road and doing this, that, and the other. They were just basically hanging out in Florida to keep their television deal afloat with USA and Fox at the time with the whole Thunderdome deal. I mean, if I can think of anything, when the rumors came out that WWE was trying to sell back earlier in the year, I remember listening to a lot of Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff was talking about the sale. He's not with the company anymore, but he was with WCW when the whole Turner sale went through, and basically everything that Turner owned went to AOL Time Warner, and that was the WCW was included. And he said that you're not really going to notice anything for a good year to a year and a half before they start making changes. I know that people are already, have their arms up in the air, basically saying that pay-per-views are going to go back to being like $50 a month. They're probably going to get, moved over to being on ESPN. All I know is that WWE has a deal with Peacock. That Peacock deal has been going for, I think, since WrestleMania 35. So we're 4 years in. I'm honestly guessing. I do remember at one point having my WWE network go as long as it could before it cut me off before signing up with Peacock, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't double paying cheat me. But there is a contract. Endeavor's not going to go to Peacock and break it and say that they can't have anymore. Definitely when in NBC Universal, Peacock company, they purchased the WWE network to come, to them to, try to get people to sign up for their service. It definitely worked. They've been paying on it. They haven't been complaining on it, as we know about. So I wouldn't complain about pay-per-view prices until WWE tells you there's going to be pay-per-view prices. Maybe Endeavor likes what they currently have. Definitely, you can tell that television rights as well as streaming rights drive companies as of right now. And yes, if they did sort of follow what UFC does with ESPN, they could make more money by making people subscribe to the service and then also buy the pay-per-views. But, that could be years from now. And I mean, I don't know. Back in the glory days of wrestling, back in those late 90s, they were running like 30 pay-per-views a year. Maybe WWE, Endeavor could copy what AEW does. I have no problem paying for the 4 AEW shows a year that pop up. Most of them deliver. The last one, honestly, at the end, I was kind of like, that was kind of flat. But then again, they had a 1 hour, main event of one single match. And I don't think people have the attention span for a match like that anymore. Yes, there's people out there that probably love that match. Somebody else who probably would have thought if they would have went 25 to 30 and gave us another match, I would have been just as happy. But, if WWE does put 4 shows, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and whatever else is the other one, Survivor Series, to me, they would have to make those shows mean more to make people buy them, because they're not just going to put them out there $50 and lose all of the money that they had on Peacock. But then again, I'm just going to call them the in-your-houses, because I can't remember a lot of those, pay-per-views. All the other ones, except for those 4. Maybe those stay on Peacock, and we still get them for, I don't know if you paid them for the $5 or $10 a month. So, I don't know. In my mind, honestly, WWE is sort of locked in that this is going to be the future. I know that we have that thing that kicks up, then, now, forever. To me, honestly, this is making sure that we go forever. Vince is in the company. Some people like that. Some people hate it. Triple H seems to be... I got a bad cough from Disneyland. I apologize. But, Triple H seems he's with the company. He's not going anywhere. Stephanie, she stepped back. She's probably, raising her kids. You got to tip your hat to her. And, I think it's all going to be good. I don't think that, Dana White all of a sudden is going to show up and start running Raw. So, it's in good hands. So, I see this as a good thing. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.